Hi, I'm Stephen Cronin. Many thanks for joining me again today. And today I'm going to show you how to paint this little scene from a photograph I took in Sutton Park. So let me show you the photo first. I'd actually been walking from the top all the way down. As I looked behind me, I thought this might not make a nice little painting. And this was what I came up with. So I've tried to create a sort of path leading through the scene to our little figure walking off, and frame it with these big tree trunks in the foreground. But before I show you how I did this, let me show you the materials. And on my palette I've got ultramarine, cadmium yellow, Payne's grey, alizarin crimson, raw sienna, burnt umber, light red. My brush is the large Ron Ranson Hake, and the paper's 15 by 11 watercolour paper. So if you want to go and grab your brushes, let's do it. So I'm starting off with just clean water. This will just lubricate the paper and stop all those hard edges in the distance and stop the paper from crinkling. Then I'm going to go with a bit of raw sienna. I'm just going to bash that in on the bottom. Clean the brush. I'm going to put a little bit of blue up there. Something like that, painting around the clouds. Maybe pop a few little white clouds in like that, just a clean brush. Put the clouds in by taking the paint off, just a simple way of doing it. Then I'm going to get a little bit of cadmium yellow in there. Brushing some, sort of blocking in the main sort of greens. Bit of raw sienna. And then right on the horizon line we've got there's like a bank of trees right in the distance. So I'm just going cadmium yellow, a bit of ultramarine. Just a touch of brown in there as well. Yeah, I'm just using the corner of the brush just to flick up those little trees and bushes. A little bit bigger there, I think. And then just sort of work the way round over to this side round there. And they go a little bit bigger on this right hand side, so I'm just going to put those in. Tall ones there. There's a little fingernail, just to suggest a little bit of trunks and branches and whatnot. And then what I might do, while the paper's still slightly wet, take the little rigger brush, plenty of water, bit of brown, bit of yellow, bit of ultramarine. I'm just going to pop a few. Now, these aren't actually in the photograph I'm using. I think they might work well. A few more on this side. Oh yeah, that's going a bit too blue, that paint. A few there, good enough. Just a massive trees these are. That's the background in. The paper stretched a little bit. You can see how it's coming away from the brush, so I'm just going to put it flat so it's leaning against the piece of plywood that I use. It leans against my easel. It's almost 90 degrees. You don't have to have yours at this angle. It just suits the filming really. That's the only reason I've got it like this. Right then, so I'm going to clean the brush. Take the excess off. I'm going to take a bit of yellow, I think. Put that in there. that over. Something like that. Bit of raw sienna in there as well. What I'm going to do, I'm going to have like a path coming down somewhere up there and then just sort of snake it down through the scene. A bit of brown on there as well. It's a bit of bits of mud here and there. I'm just sort of slowly just putting, just working my way towards where the path's going to be. It's going to go somewhere like that. Let's just brush that in. So I was thinking of putting the path in with just mixing some paint, but I might just leave it like this. So it's this sort of lighter colour rather than putting it in dark. So I might just working out now exactly the route it's going to take. So sort of squiggling around. More brown, some more muddy areas. What I might do is I'll pop these sort of muddier areas in. You can always scrape a few little rocks in. Brown over there, I think. A little bit up there. And you can always have just a little. I don't want to get too mad with them, and paint's still a bit wet really to do this. But at least when it's wet it lets you do it more subtly, they're not quite as defined. Something like that. Now I want some more trees, so I'm going to put these in using the height brush. So I'm just dip the tips in just to bring all the hairs together. And then get a bit of brown, a bit of blue, sort of darky tree trunk mix. And I'm going to put the first one in there, and do another one up there like that. And a few more like that. So these are sort of the middle layer. And then I'll have the strongest tones, save those for the foreground. But let's just pop a few little twigs on here first. A few going to the left, a few to the right, some going up, some going down, sort of growing all over the place. A bit more water on the palette, bit of brown, bit of yellow, bit of blue. Some coming down up there. Let's pop some on the other side. Back to the 8 brush, brown, blue, quite a dark mix. A few more trunks going up there, one up there, one down there. Again, back to the little rigger brush, into that dark mix. And again, a few more branches coming up. Then what I'll do, once these are in, I might just use a bit of dry brush, just to put a little bit of foliage in. Not too much, but just enough to sort of flavour it. So I'm just going to clean the brush, just going to squeeze out the water like that. And take the rest off on the tea towel. And then a bit of raw sienna, bit of brown, bit of yellow, and just put a few little colours on there. And because it's dry, it's not going to block it in big massive dollops, so you can still see lots of the background. I'm not covering everything up that I've already painted. A bit more raw sienna, a bit more lemon yellow, not lemon yellow, cadmium yellow rather. Something down there on the ground. So cut that little reservoir that's built up at the bottom. I just want to make sure this is definitely flat against this board. Generally have to do it at least once, sometimes a couple of times. You can pre-stretch it if you want. Stretch your paper before you start painting. That's how most people work. I'll just do it as I go along. So I'm still debating whether to just, you know what I might do? I'm not very happy with that path. I'm going to take a bit of red, a bit of brown, a bit of blue. And I'm just going to paint it in as well. I'm going to paint it in. Does that look better or worse? Let's just put some, a bit of grass, and straight into the yellow. I'm just pushing out right up to the path. Just try and blend it in a bit more. Put more on this side. I might be blending it in a bit too much. Ultramarine, with an umber. Bits of grasses here and there. Yeah, I think I prefer it like that. Yeah, I definitely prefer it like that. So what I want to do now is put the sort of third layer of trees, the closest ones to us. But to get that on with sort of maximum intensity, I've got to make sure it's dry. It doesn't have to be bone, as long as it's drier, it'll go on stronger. It'll go on stronger anyway because I'm using more paint and less water. So I'm going to go, I need to dip it in a little bit because the hairs are all over the place. Just dip the very tips into the water just to bring them all back together. Bit of brown, bit of blue. And then our first one, I'm going to stick that one there in front of those, that one goes up there like that. And you'll see straight away you've got the three layers, so you've got your most distant ones there, that we'll put them in initially when the paper was still at its wettest, and they've sort of faded, to look really far away. Then the middle ones, slightly stronger, and then these foreground ones, stronger still. Have another one up there. Maybe a third one going off up there like that. And you can put on twigs and branches. You come down there and across there like that. Some coming off the top of the from out of shot up there. Right, let's do some on the right hand side. Now I don't want to have them all level, so I want to angle it. So these are ones are going to start from down there somewhere. So we're going to have one is there, up there like that, and cuts straight across like that. Try not to paint over anything that you particularly like. It's a shame when you do. Yeah, I've got another one there. That one branching off. Doing that line like that. So I've sort of sloped, so it sort of follows the land because the land is sloping from left to right. So So I've done these foreground trees in the same way. A bit more brown. I've switched to the little brush. Things coming up there like that. These are just little tweaks here and there. So I just want to put a few little tufts of grass and wood and stuff, so I'm just drying this brush, squeezing it out into the tea towel, and then just going straight into some lemon yellow. See what this looks like first. Grass here and there, some there. It's just sort of helping to just blend the bottoms of these trees into the painting. Right, what I'm going to do next is shadows. So put in the brush, I'm just going to do a bit of brown, bit of red, bit of blue, creating just a general shadowy colour. And then what I'm going to do is say the lights that are coming this way, from sort of this up here somewhere, so I should have dried this first really. A few more over there. Sort of coming down there like that. And then there. Things growing here and there. Yeah, so I think all I've got to do now is put a little, I'm just going to put a little figure in. Just someone walking up the hill. Maybe put them right at the very top. Say somewhere. Somewhere right up there, just walk it off. And then a little dog next to him. Just someone in there, just walking, just adds a bit of life to the thing. And then all I'm going to do next, just do like a little bird or something in the sky. And I'm going to call that one finished. So all I'm going to do next is just find a dry bit, and I'm just going to stick my name down there. Right, let's see what it looks like with the mount on. So here's the finished painting in the main, so let's see how it compares to the photograph. And I've not really changed anything with the composition. I've maybe put a few extra sort of middle ground, foreground trees on the right hand side. So the sky area, a little bit of blue, a few white clouds, and then we've got the sort of distant trees on the horizon line up there. So I'll just put a little blue in, bit of blue in, and took a lot of white cloud out with a brush to create that sort of effect rather than use the tissue. Then just very light tone of these distant trees, just to see how that pushes them far back into onto the horizon line. Then we got this sort of mass of green land that pretty much fills sort of 2/3 of the page. And I've just used various mixes of cadmium yellow, a bit of ultramarine, there's a bit of burnt umber in there as well. There's a sort of hint of a path. It's not very well defined in the photograph, but I've defined it more in the painting. I think it always looks better, I think, a painting with a proper path in it, leading all the way to our little figure there with his, just about to see his dog there on the horizon. So that's it for this painting. I hope you like that. Thanks for watching, as always. Thank you for your support and best wishes. Keep practicing, and I'll see you again soon.